Good morning. Our hand today is going to be Ace King. We're under the gun. We open raise. It's reasonable range. This is my under the gun range here. It's at a full table. Ace King's in there. We're trying to play it aggressively, and you can see we've got some weaker hands in there just to offset these times that we actually do have a big hand. Folds around to villain 5, who 3 bets. Villain 5, I only have 29 hands on him. And in this 29, I have them 3 betting one time, 1 out of 12. Now, a lot of 3 bets that I encounter are something like this: queens plus ace king. Occasionally, we'll get people that do jacks plus like ace king and ace queen suited. Some players are a bit wider and will 3 bet a lot. I mean, this guy's playing 3 betting 8%. What's it called? Pre-flop 1%. That's that. Do I have anyone? No, it doesn't really look like I have anyone at my table that plays a lot of 3 bets. This is a 5 NL game, so we do have to kind of acknowledge that. So, it's kind of tough to pick out what his range is going to be because we don't have a huge number of hands. And again, I encounter a lot of people that are like queens plus ace king. Some are just like aces and kings. Others are much wider. So not really sure where to start. I think we'll just do this. And then we have villain 7 who calls. Again, 9 hands. He's playing 33-11, which seems like he's loose. I think usually somebody that cold calls a 3 bet is typically pocket pairs. I'm going to throw in like ace queen, ace jack king queen. I'm going to actually throw in that. I don't think ace king. And he might not even have these. I just think this player is going to be heavy in pocket pairs. If he calls the flop, chances are he hit it. So we just have to pay attention. And then it's back to me, and I make the call. So I do think I'm going to be 4-betting aces and kings. I'm out of position here. I'm out of position, so I could... it's going to be hard for me to play, so there's going to be a lot of hands that I'm going to be getting rid of. For the most part, though, we're going to be calling really tight. Stats say this is the range that we should play, and probably right, because this 3-better, when we look at his 3-betting range here, it's going to be tight himself. If we have kings, we're behind the aces, and then all the ace king, ace queen are going to have quite a bit of equity to us. I kind of feel like, though, with the caller, we're going to be raising kings, and if he has aces, he has aces, but I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. So I'm going to go with this range as my calling range. Flop comes down king 10-9 with 2 clubs. So Jack Queen gets there, but I don't think, and I think Jack Queen is a very low probability hand because he 3-bet and he just cold called. So I think standard play is to check to the pre-flop better, who then bets, and he bets fairly large at 20. So here, question is, what is he going to be betting? Is he going to be betting 100%? I think this is a board that hits his range. Ace King's going to hit. He could have aces. He could have kings. Now we block kings. There's only 1 combo kings left, and we block some aces. There's 3 combos out there. So I think he could be betting basically his entire range here. Just it's good. He 3-bet, and I think it's standard to say he's going to be 100%. Villain 7 folds. I think it kind of matches. It's very likely that he completely misses his trips. And then it's back to us. Do we check raise? I think with our flush draw, it's going to be ace king of clubs. I think this could be a possibility of check raising. We've got one combo of a flush draw. We have to find one more combo to kind of balance out. So like check raising with trips looks good. I mean, that's 6 combos, but the question is, where do we find our others, other bluffs? And I'm not sure I want to turn like jacks and queens into a bluff. So because we don't have a huge number of bluffs, I think the play is probably just to call. So call with our sets, call with our top pair, I think call with our flush draw. Jacks and queens, I think we can call once just to see what he's going to do. So it's basically we're taking our entire range to the turn, just like villain. So he does have the equity edge with aces. But I think we both have kings. So I did call. Ace of clubs comes out. And that's interesting. So if we think about diamonds, okay, so I have the ace of diamonds. So we know ace queen of diamonds is not out there. We know ace jack of diamonds isn't out there. It's not, I don't really think he's going to 3-bet ace jack. All right, so ace king of diamonds are out. Ace king of hearts is out because I've got that blocker. Now the ace king of clubs is out, which leaves ace king of spades is the only suited spade that's out there. The ace queen of clubs is gone now. So if we thought maybe he was raising with ace queen of clubs, that's out. He can't have ace queen of diamonds. He could have ace queen of hearts, ace queen of spades. So question is, what do we do? Do we lead? Do we check? I'm sure I checked because I don't necessarily have a leading range. I think he showed in a 3-bet pot and he c-bet pot 68, 70. He's got 76.6. I think the idea here is just to check call or check raise at this point to try to play for stacks. We had top 2 pair. If he wakes up and has aces or kings, he has aces or kings. But I think if we lead and we bet, I think it gives ace queen a chance to fold, whereas possibility that ace queen might just go ahead and bet. So when we look at our range here, we do have flush draws. I don't think we want to. I don't necessarily mind calling with them, but I think if he bets, we are probably just looking to get all in with our sets, with our 2 pair. I don't think we're looking at pocket pair below the second card, but that is like our flush draws. May just have to like close our eyes and hope with queen and with the jack. But if we've got queens and if we have the queen of clubs, that's a good sign because now we block, we basically block the flush. I don't expect him to show king queen. So he checks. And the question is, what does he check with? Would he check with a set? Maybe he could be scared of the flush. So I could see this. So he checks everything again because of the flush. I'll go with that. And then the 4 hearts hits. And at this point, I think once he checks, it's probably unlikely that we're going to get him all in. I think here, pot 68.2, we can bet, push him all in. And I think at 5 NL, probably that's the move because if we push him all in, I do think he's calling with sets of 2 pair. He's probably calling with top pair too, and I think that's going to be what we're targeting. So if we look at this, 44% of his calling range is top pair. He would call 69%, and then 45 of that is top pair that we crush, we chop with 33%, and then we lose to the set. And the set would be interesting because he recognized that there's a flush and he actually gave me credit for it. So I kind of think we just shove them all in. Don't go for half pot. I think we maximize our EV just by pushing him in. And that's what I did, pushed him in, and he calls. So at this point, I think we're kind of like this, if this is his original range. And he shows ace, queen of hearts. So ace, queen of hearts was one of those. Ace, queen of hearts, ace, queen of spades was a possibility. We had that in there. I'm not sure if he would be wider, for his 3-bet. I think that's definite possibility, but we just don't know. So what can I do differently with this hand? I don't know. I kind of like how I played it. Maybe check raise on the flop, but again, looking at our range, I don't think we have enough bluffs for that check raise. We don't have, we don't have the flush, the nut flush draw. We don't even have backdoor flush draw at that point. And since it's a 3-bet pot, I think it's going to be more likely that villain has a strong hand. And in thinking of our blockers, we do block kings, so it's one of those things. Well, maybe he has aces out there, maybe he has queens, maybe he has jacks. With queens and jacks, I doubt that he calls anymore. So it's just like, well, if he's not going to call our raise, maybe we can get him to bet for us as a bluff to make a little extra money. I think that's about the only thing I would consider changing. Maybe betting the turn when we hit 2-pair instead of checking and hoping he bets. And even if we go somewhat small, so that's 68. If we fire, let's say 34 is half pot. So if we go to like 28 or so, that might be viewed as a blocking bet. He raises and we call. I mean, that could get it all in as well. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another.